for prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really?
He's better out of those two. Crawford or Mayweather.
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter.
His basics are solid. His fundamentals are solid. He's strong. He's physical. He's moved up and become, solid at a heavier weight than when he started in his career. He's grown into. He's got great experience.
Floyd Mayweather is widely regarded as one of the greatest defensive fighters in boxing history, but talk within the sport suggests that facing Terence Crawford could turn out to be a major mistake. Analysts caution that Mayweather, having been retired for years and well past his prime, would be putting both his legacy and his health on the line against a pound-for-pound great like Crawford. Known for his devastating combinations, precise timing, and unmatched ability to adapt to any opponent, Crawford presents a threat that many believe Mayweather would be wise to stay away from.
Big take. Of course, he's fought both of them.
Yeah, he would know.
Yeah, so that was a big take. But
Not
yeah,
really.
I think
lost to
so.
both of them. Not for people who watch boxing. No, that's not. No.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that we sent that Terence Crawford some love, because he also talked a lot that night about how people underestimated him and thought, because people didn't really. He doesn't have the biggest star power, that he wasn't going to win the fight, and he definitely took that home. So congratulations to him. Now
Did he have the what?
He doesn't have the biggest star power.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was saying that people were underestimating him.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. retired from the sport with a flawless 50-0 record, cementing his place as one of the greatest defensive boxers in history. Terence Crawford, also undefeated, has established himself as a multi-division world champion recognized for his ability to switch stances, high ring IQ, punching power, and versatility. As Crawford continues his reign of dominance, discussions, hypotheticals, and debates about who would win if both faced each other in their primes only continue to grow.
On Saturday, has not only become the pound-for-pound #1 fighter, I honestly believe that he surpasses now Floyd Mayweather as the best fighter of this generation. That's what I believe.
If that was the goal by Floyd, to be undisputed, then he would have chased undisputed. He chased champions until he became the money draw.
Do you know that Floyd never unified any of the divisions he fought in?
Because he never had to. He was a draw. He just didn't have to. He done the hard work in getting there.
Terence Crawford started out his boxing career as a lightweight, and now he's gone up to super middleweight and become the undisputed super middleweight champion, beating a guy like Canelo, who, listen, previously, man, he was wreaking havoc through that division. And Terence Crawford's just gone out there and taken the belt off him with, let's be honest, relative ease.
Legendary three-division champion Shane "Sugar" Mosley stirred debate by suggesting that Terence Crawford might hold an edge over Floyd Mayweather, depending on which version of Mayweather he faced. Mosley highlighted Crawford's power, versatility, and stance-switching ability, noting that these tools create unpredictable angles and dangerous offensive opportunities. He argued that against money Mayweather, Crawford could potentially prevail. However, Mosley acknowledged that the younger, more aggressive, pretty boy Mayweather would be a far tougher challenge for Crawford.
But did you believe or do you agree with the fact that Canelo is saying Crawford is better than Mayweather from an outsider's perspective, having not fought Crawford? Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is...
Former world champion Tim Bradley has openly declared that he believes Terence Crawford would defeat a prime Floyd Mayweather. He stressed that Crawford's intelligence, versatility, and sharp timing make him a unique threat. While Bradley acknowledged Mayweather's defensive brilliance and agility, he argued that Crawford's offensive arsenal and tactical skills would be enough to break through.
He's also a master at distance. Terence Crawford has punching power to hurt Floyd Mayweather. We saw that in the Sam Judah fight now.
Yeah, Shane too. Shane hurt him with the right hand.
Shane did hurt him as well.
Yep.
And did he fight Shane? But did Floyd fight Shane in his prime? Do you think he fought him in his prime?
No.
Exactly.
And
Max,
Zab wasn't
exactly.
quite a Shane-level fighter. That's true. Listen, it'd be a great match.
Amir Khan has voiced deep respect for Terence Crawford, stating there's a strong case that Crawford could beat Floyd Mayweather. Khan praised Crawford's exceptional timing, noting how he disrupts rhythm, makes sharp adjustments, and executes intelligent game plans. Reflecting on his own fight with Crawford, Khan highlighted how Crawford frustrates opponents by making them miss by mere fractions before capitalizing with precise, well-timed combinations. He further believes Crawford stands above many top names in the welterweight division and argues that even Mayweather's legendary defensive mastery might struggle against Crawford's blend of offense, ring IQ, and adaptability.
The ring with him, even though towards after the 1-2 rounds, I started getting my rhythm, but I have to say, probably one of the best fighters I've ever faced, honestly. And I've faced the likes of Canelo, and I was at boxing fighters like him. Every fight I've lost previously was when I was up on points, and obviously might have got caught with a good shot and got knocked out, or whatever. But with Crawford, his timing was so on point. I mean, like, what a great fight he was, technician. And I'll always look. I'm not a hater in any way. Look, even though the fight went the way it did, but I just think his timing was amazing, and just everything about the game plan he had for the fight. I mean, he's a brilliant fighter. You cannot take that away from him. And if he was to fight any welterweight, being Manny Pacquiao, being Errol Spence, being even Floyd Mayweather, I think Crawford would beat a lot of them, maybe all of them. Even and the only fight I would say for him would be a good fight technically would be someone like Mayweather. But I really think
former two-division champion Carl Frampton believes Terence Crawford's performance against Canelo did more than secure a win. It changed how he views Crawford relative to Floyd Mayweather. Frampton points to Crawford's control of the fight, the damage he inflicted, and his ability to dictate the pace as evidence that Crawford has reached a level capable of challenging Mayweather at his peak. He compares Crawford's technical skill, ring generalship, and finishing power in that fight with the benchmark performances often cited when discussing prime Mayweather.
I think if he does nick it, it does kind of have to be a stinker. He has to move and use his feet. I think Canelo's feet aren't what they once were, but certainly he's a stronger man in the fight. I think we're going to see a very close one, possibly even a draw, but if you put a gun to my head, I would say Crawford in a close points decision.
You talk a bit about the fight maybe not catching fire in the way some were expecting. If Terence Crawford is to win the fight, does it have to be that sort of fight? And leading from that, can he hurt Canelo Alvarez?
I don't think so. I mean, look at the shots guys like Golovkin bounced off Canelo's head. It's almost like he's unhurtable. We've seen him hurt by Miguel Cotto's brother a number of years ago, but that was it really, and he was a young boy. So I think that I don't expect to see Terence hurting or being able to hurt Canelo, but there's a way he can win the fight, and that is by outboxing him.
If Terence Crawford does win, as you're predicting, does he rival Alexander Usyk for that number 1 pound for pound spot?
You have to start. I've never really thought about it, but that's a good question, and he'd certainly be in.
Shakur Stevenson has stated that he views Terence Crawford as one fight away from entering the all-time greats conversation, particularly after a victory over Canelo Alvarez. Stevenson highlights Crawford's skill, movement, and boxing IQ, believing these attributes allow him to neutralize Canelo's offense and tilt the fight in his favor. He adds that defeating a boxer of Canelo's stature, long considered boxing royalty, would be more than another title for Crawford. It would be a defining moment that reshapes his place in boxing history. For Stevenson, such a win would firmly cement Crawford's legacy among the sport's elite.
Beats Canelo convincingly, right? Would you put him above Floyd, an all-time great?
See,
Give me a solid answer. Come on, Shakur. Don't dance around that, bro.
I can't get into that because at the end of the day, it's like...
But that's just an opinion.
It's opinionated.
Right, I want your opinion.
My opinion on it, I think Bud is the greatest of all time after doing this.
Okay.
But...
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Floyd is the greatest of all time in my eyes, too. Like, the shit I done watched with him is like... He's one of my favorite fighters. So,
I know.
Crawford has pushed back against frequent comparisons to Floyd Mayweather, stating that their styles and careers aren't directly comparable. He notes that Mayweather fought in a different era, with unique opponents, promotional setups, and public expectations, while his own career has followed a distinct path. Crawford emphasizes that, though such comparisons make for media debate, his focus is solely on what he can control, refining his skills, selecting the right fights, and staying consistent. For him, proving himself against top-level competition matters more than hypothetical matchups or record comparisons, and he views his achievements on their own merits rather than against Mayweather's legacy.
In comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather, how do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going out that much.
Many boxing analysts have strongly criticized Floyd Mayweather's recent exhibition fights, arguing they diminish both his legacy and the sport's integrity. A key concern is that these exhibitions often feature mismatches, with Mayweather facing non-elite fighters, influencers, or YouTubers instead of legitimate contenders, reducing their competitive significance. Critics contend that these bouts are driven more by financial gain than genuine sporting competition.
Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Oscar de la Hoya has been especially outspoken, calling some of Mayweather's exhibitions embarrassing and claiming they make a mockery of boxing. Analysts have also questioned the entertainment rationale behind fighting YouTubers, arguing that such spectacles do little to showcase true skill.
Other than Leonard Ellaby is a boxing man. He knows deep down that was absolutely horrendous. And the other thing is as well, when you got a guy in the environment that we're living at the moment, right, after a tough year for a lot of people, to come out of the press conference and just basically laugh at people and say, I just took your money. It was a bank job. It was a heist. It was like I conned you into, I mean, those pay-per-views in America, I think they were like $60. I mean, he basically just took the piss out of the fans. But I don't blame him, he made an absolute fortune. Good luck to him. I'm not having a go at Floyd Mayweather. I'm just a fan who's allowed to give my opinion. Absolutely dreadful. Even Floyd Mayweather was embarrassed at a press conference after. He basically said, I'm not doing that again. The biggest winner was Logan Paul. I mean, he's just gone 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather. And actually, at times...
Did you think he got knocked out and held up?
No, I think at times Floyd Mayweather was actually really trying. But anyway, it was what it was. But it all comes back to the pressure is on us. Not us, as in me and Matchroom, but it is on boxing. If we don't make good fights, you're going to see more and more of this. Because if Gervonta Davis against Mara Barros is doing 100,000 buys, and Andy Ruiz against Areola is doing 80,000 buys or 100,000 buys, and you got that doing 1 million, what are the broadcasters going to want? That. We have to save boxing. We, not just me, all of us. And the fighters have got to step up, the managers have got to step up, the trainers have got to step up. We've got to pay the money for these guys to have real fights. And
Eddie Hearn also slammed one of Mayweather's exhibition bouts, calling it absolutely horrendous and saying it damages boxing's reputation. Stephen A. Smith criticized Mayweather for choosing opponents far below his level, suggesting these decisions were motivated more by money than preserving his legacy. In a direct interview, Smith even asked Mayweather whether he valued wealth over his place in boxing history.
When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see just anybody on the basketball court playing against LeBron James. He won't do it. He doesn't have to. It's a waste of his time. You might see footages of Dwayne Wade training his son. You don't see Dwayne Wade playing against just anybody.
The recent announcement of a spring 2026 exhibition between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson has sparked controversy, with many in the boxing community questioning the credibility and value of such matchups. Mayweather has defended his exhibitions, portraying them as a legitimate way to stay active while earning money on his own terms. He argues that retirement doesn't require complete withdrawal, but the freedom to choose when and how to perform. Mayweather presents these bouts as opportunities for both longtime and new fans to see him in action, even outside official professional fights, and insists that earning large sums from exhibitions is no different from other successful individuals building wealth and influence later in life.
You buy, pick up a couple dollars. You know, they upset. See, they upset because I'm able to milk the game. I'm smart, kept all my faculties, made a lot of smart investments. So, you know, when great people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, the Waltons, the people that own Walmart, Walgreens, when they're getting money in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, it's okay. A young kid like myself from the inner city, from the ghetto, I worked my way to the top. I was able to leave boxing on my own terms and keep all my faculties, kept a lot of my money. So they're upset that I'm able to go out there and continue to make 40 and 50 and 60 million outside the ring. You can't get mad.
Boxing experts' warnings for Floyd Mayweather to avoid a fight with Terence Crawford are based on more than speculation. Crawford's recent performances have reshaped debates about who sits at the top of the sport, with promoters like Bob Arum even suggesting Crawford could defeat a prime Mayweather. Many analysts believe that unless Mayweather returns in peak form with sharp reflexes and tactical precision, facing Crawford carries more risk than reward. The safer approach may be to let Crawford dictate the narrative rather than risk a bout where Mayweather's legacy is already at stake.
Fight fans, prime for prime. Who wins a fight, Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Bud Crawford? Bob Arum says Bud. Do you agree?
For prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why? Just
because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, you know, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very
Do you think Crawford has what it takes to surpass Mayweather if they ever met in the ring, or does Mayweather remain untouchable? Share your thoughts in the comments below.